I just wanted to make this video because I just feel the need to do this type of video right now up. I don't know when. I'm actually thinking of putting it live, probably today. I don't know, probably the day when I record this video. I'm not 100% sure, but I wanted to make this video sort of like appreciation video to basically everyone who has been there for me. Like, even like, I'm only literally saying these at the top of like my head. I haven't written anything down, so it's all from scratch and everything like that. So as people, some of you may have known, because I might have mentioned it in like my very first video. People who actually personally know me probably know all of this. That basically 2 years ago I was in such a bad relationship, and what I mean by a bad relationship, I mean like just, I don't know how to put it in words, but just a very unhealthy, nasty relationship that I thought I would never, ever, ever be in. But we all go through them phases of being in a bad relationship, bad friendship, and just bad moments in general, you know, hanging around with the bad crowds and all that, you know. So I just wanted to kind of put this as appreciation post, because I feel like I need to do it instead of always putting it in messages and in posts and everything like that. I just decided just to make a video of it. I was going to do a video for Instagram, but you can only do like 15 minutes of it. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to basically put it into onto my YouTube, because it's just easier. So yeah, so welcome to my appreciation post from the very start and up as far as now. So basically, when I was in the bad relationship, like, I don't know how to describe it, but I was in such a bad way of like always spending my money on him, on his bills, like on his addiction, buying things for him that I shouldn't really be doing, and all that he should be doing. And he was, like, to be honest with you, he was older than me, so he should have been well able to look after himself, buy himself stuff, pay his own bills and stuff like that. But no, he was always, I don't know, I think I can't pronounce the word, but he was always using them words to put into my head that I would just automatically do it. He would, and if I don't sort of do the things that he wanted me to do, he would always put in a way that I would feel bad for not doing them instead of him. It was always me feeling bad, feeling sorry, always apologizing, always making up for him and everything like that, when it should have been all him that was doing all of that. It was him that should have, like, okay, since you're low on money this week, I'll help you out with the bills, or I'll buy this for you, I'll treat you to something nice. None of that ever happened. It was only it was always me. It was always a one-way relationship, and like, I don't blame anyone else. To be honest with you, I only blame myself for getting into it, because the amount of friends I have lost all through them years when I was in that relationship, when I was always choosing him, going back to him, like all that, I was losing friend by friend by friend, and slowly a family member I was losing also, because they always tried to reach out for me, tell me that, okay, this isn't a relationship that you're in. It's not. It's literally just you in the relationship, and you need to get yourself out of it, and everything, like, anything that you could possibly say to me back then, it was all said. There was loads of crying, heartbreaks, everything, and I still went back to him. He was always cheating on me. He was literally everything that you can name, he was doing that to me. And I was always a sucker to go back to him. And I lost so many friends. So many friends. Oh my god, I want to cry. I've lost so many friends through the years. Like, I mean, I lost secondary school friends, college friends, even just friends in general. I was losing, like, family members, everything I was losing. And I don't know what made me always think, okay, they're my friends, they should stick by me, everything like that. Everything will be fine the next day. I'll just go down to work for the night. When I come back up, me and my friend will be, like, grand, like nothing ever happened. But no, I had to learn the hard way. I actually did. And still to this day, I will never forgive myself of how many friends I've lost through the years. And then eventually, when it came to him living in Wicklow town, he was in a homeless hostel, and back then I was still sort of in school / college, in between that. I basically kept going down to him like nothing ever happened, every single day. I wasn't really focusing on, like, my school work, my college work, me looking for a job. I wasn't focusing on that. I was always skipping days in school / college. I was always making plans with friends, and then always going down to Wicklow to see him instead of meeting up with my friends like I was planning to. And I was always basically standing them up. I was always, like, backing out of the meetup with my friends just for him, all that. And the one person in Wicklow who actually stuck by me in Wicklow was my friend Katie Curran. And I will never forget how much effort she done for me in Wicklow. I will never forget how many times she has been there for me. Like, I remember one of the nights, like, I was crying, I was by myself, I was walking around Wicklow, and she came out to talk to me, told me, look, just go home. And I mean, and what she meant by, like, my family home, go back to my family home for the night. She helped, Katie, she is just a one of a kind, and she has been here, I don't know how many times. She was there for me in Wicklow and everything like that. I always use, and and today I'm actually confident to say it, but she actually, I used to lie to always go down to Wicklow, right? And I used to always get Katie to lie to my parents for me, to say that I was with her, I'm staying in hers, I have plans with her for the day, and I honestly can't thank her enough for all of that. But to me, for someone who does that for you, especially when she knows, like, I'm not in a good place right now, I need to get myself out of it, she was always there. She was always there whenever I needed and whatever I needed. She was always there, and I was all like, to this day I'll always thank her and just be grateful that I have her still to this day as a friend, because I'm just so grateful. So thank you so much, Katie. So then basically I was in college now. He was still living in Wicklow. I was still going down to him, all that. And in college I met my friend Jade, who has been in a few of these videos. I honestly can't thank her enough as well, because she's just such a heart of gold. She really is. And to be honest with you, with the main of things I've done sort of to her and her mom, that they know, and the things that I used to lie about to Jade about me not seeing him. Oh, I'm not with him, when I actually was. I know she walked away from me completely, and yes, I did miss her. I did miss her as a friend back then, but eventually, when I kept seeing all my friends slowly disappearing, it's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking to see that. Literally just heartbreaking to see my friends slowly disappearing. step by step, just walking away slowly. And for some reason in my head, I always thought Jade would never really walk away. I always thought like she would always stay by me, but at the same time I'm sort of glad that she walked away from me back then, because that was another friend that sort of gave me the light, basically. And I'm just literally speechless. The fact that Katie and Jade the two of them are gold of hearts. Like I don't even know what a heart and gold of hearts. And the fact that they walked away but they've came back, and I'll always be grateful for that. I really am. So then there was a time that he got himself, well, he didn't get himself, his brother got him an apartment down in Arklow. He moved in, I slowly moved in, and by that time all of my friends have disappeared. And I just, back then I was mainly just saying, oh look, who needs them? They're not true friends if they're not sticking by me. At least I have you. When I said that to him. And I just can't believe the amount of things I done for those people to walk away. And I know I will never ever basically really show them how appreciated I am to have the friends I have to this day. I really don't. I honestly don't, because when I was living down in Arklow, yes, I made new friends, but they weren't the right friends. And then I got back in touch with my friend Graham, who I went to school with. I slowly started asking him for stuff that was actually for him, not for me. And he knows that. He knows that. Because he just knew. And Graham will always be the next person in the list who I appreciate, because at the times when I was living down in Arklow, he always saw how unhappy I was, how heartbroken I was, and the fact, and he just knew I was in such a bad place, but yet he wanted to be there for me. There was times where, like, I had crying moments. I met up with him down in Arklow, and he was just always he was just always there. He was just always there for me. Like, he would be the type of person who would drop everything and just sit with you in silence, just until you feel better. And Katie was the same. She would always sit there in silence with you. She would always drop everything, come to you, sit with you in silence, and just be there. They didn't have, none of them had to say anything. They just knew just to be there for me. And I will always be grateful for that. I truly am. I Sorry guys, my mom came in asking if I wanted a bit of lunch, but not right now. So basically, like, where was I? Oh yeah, when I was then in Arklow, like, Graham was always there for me, and when I was in Wicklow, Katie was always there for me. The two of them were always there for me from day one, anytime when I needed someone. And I'll always be grateful. Always be grateful for them. I honestly don't deserve the friends that I have to this day. I don't. I really don't. Like, they're just always there for me. Even when I don't even know that I need someone there for me, they just automatically know. And I'm forever grateful. I really am. I'm forever grateful. So then, when the times when I was living in Arklow, like, I didn't know Sarah at the time, but Graham was always there. Like, before he went up to Bray to stay with Sarah, he would always, like, ask me if I'm alright, do you need anything, and stuff like that. And when he came back down, he used to always ask the same thing, how I am. And he was always checking in on me every single time, and I'm just forever grateful for that. And the fact that he just knew, just by looking at me, that I was not in a great place back then, when I couldn't even see myself. Yeah. So then there came to a day where basically I had no phone. The two of us walking over to Centra, over at Bridgewater in Arklow. He was drunk, basically. I was walking over to get more alcohol for him. And then he started a fight in Centra. He tried to fight with the guards. The guards put him in the van and then went off. So he was in the guard station for a while. So then I ran back over to the apartment. I went into the bedroom. I sat down on the bed. I looked in the mirror and I just said, this isn't me. This is not me. I can't keep doing this. So my next door neighbour, Nikita, I went into her. I just poured out crying in front of her. She knew straight away what happened and what was going on. She just knew. So she handed me her phone and said, call your family. Ask them to come and pick you up. So I did that. I rang my dad. To come pick me up. And fair play, my dad came down within a half an hour, 40 minutes. While I was waiting for him, I went back into the apartment, packed all my things, got everything that was belonging to me. Not like there was much to pack anyway, but I got everything that was belonging to me that I packed up. I brought my bags into Nikita, sat there, and then I went over to his brothers and I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving him for good. And I remember at first he didn't believe me, because the amount of times I used to always say, no, I'm not going back to him, when I actually did. He just said, look, just go for the weekend, relax, and you know yourself, you're gonna come back down. So I just ignored, and I just said, look, bye. Came back over, and I went over to Bridgewater with Nikita to help her with her shopping. Came back. My dad arrived. And as I was leaving with the bags in my hands, with my dad behind me, he was there. He was standing right there, looked so angry. He was still drunk. So he said, can we chat? At first my dad was like, no, we're leaving. So I said, look, we'll have one more chat, but you can't convince me in anything anymore. So my dad went back into Nikita's. I went back into the apartment. He tried talking to me. I said, no, I'm done. You have damaged me completely. I don't even know who I am. I don't even know who Susan is anymore. Susan isn't the type of person who hangs out with people that I don't know. I'm not the type of person who keeps keeps asking and begging for money to each person that walks by me. I don't want this life anymore. I don't. So I tried to walk out. He wasn't having it. He stood in front of the door. He was like, no, I'm not leaving you go. But I was strong and I said, move out of the way. I am leaving and I am not coming back. And so he moved. I walked out. And I was gone. I didn't look back or anything. I knew while I was talking to him, he wanted to do something. He wanted to, but he couldn't because my dad was standing right outside him. So when I moved back up, I had spent a month with my family to try, obviously, make things up with my family and make things right with my family and just be at home. And then the second month, which was, so I moved back up May 2019. So June, it was in June 2019, I met up with Graham. And I remember the first day when I met up with him, Sarah was in work. So it was only Graham that day. But I remember still to this day, I walked up to him, didn't have to say anything. Literally, didn't have to say anything to him. So what he done was, Graham grabbed me, hugged me so tight, and all he said was, I'm proud of you. That's all he said. That's all he said. I think the hug lasted for about a good 15 minutes. Obviously I was crying like this, and I have tissues. I do remember, basically, I just literally walked up to Graham, cried my heart out, and he just hugged me. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. And so after I think about half an hour of not talking and the crying eventually stopped, I told him everything. I told him everything. And I'm actually happy that I told him everything. And to this day, that first day of meeting back up with someone who has saw me through the bad relationship, it was heartbreaking, because he was able to tell me even just how much I've changed from when me and him used to meet up in Arklow up as far as the day when I met up with him when I moved back home and left him. I will always be grateful for how much how much Graham has done for me down in Arklow and even up here. And I'm just forever grateful, just literally forever grateful. So then the next few days after meeting up with Graham for the first time, I eventually met Sarah. And I can honestly say, I know how hard it could have been for Sarah, to meet up with me, to get to know me, just like that, just like that. And I'm forever grateful as well for Sarah to just straight away accepted me before she got to properly know me. And I'm just I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say apart from thank you, I'm so grateful, I love you. Words can't describe how much all of my friends to this day means to me. And the friends that I'm talking about is Katie, Jade, Graham and Sarah. Forever grateful. And they, all four of them mean the world to me. They really do. So basically, ever since I moved back up, I have been hanging out with Graham and Sarah, and slowly started hanging around with Jade again. Now, I remember it took a long time to get back to where me and Jade were. It took a long time to get the friendship back from Jade and her mom, especially her mom, because parents are always important when it comes to relationships. It really is. And I'm just forever grateful that every single person of them 4 people, gave me so many chances to be who I really am. And just want to say thank you. So I continued hanging out with Jade, Sarah and Graham ever since I moved back up. And when I was hanging out with Sarah and Graham, we added in another person for the group, which was Simon. I knew Simon from college, but I never really had a chance to properly get to know him. And so when he first started hanging out with myself, Sarah and Graham, he was amazing. He knew how to make all of us laugh. He knew how to make jokes, and still today, this day, he knows how to make jokes. Simon is just a wonderful friend who has also been there since day one, and I'm just forever grateful. I'm actually tiring myself out of how grateful I am to all of these people who has given me another chance to start fresh, start new, and to make up for them. Literally to make up for them. And I know friends isn't all about money, and you might, people might give you not really good presents. They might give you amazing presents. They might give you fantastic presents, brilliant presents. There's loads of different types. But what I have learned over the years, even within the years of the bad times, and especially now, that money is nothing. Money is nothing. It's just literally the thought that counts. And I know at one stage I went through a phase of saying to basically just saying about Graham and Sarah behind their backs that their gifts aren't really good to give. But the other day I thought back of how much they have done for me, especially Graham have done for me when I lived down in Arklow. The amount of 5 and 10 he used to give me, And then weeks when I used to say, oh, I don't have it, I can't give it back, he would always be like, okay, that's fine. So gifts, presents, money, it's nothing. Friendship is more about being there for each other, supporting each other, and just being there for each other. And the one thing that I love is the TV show Friends. And the reason why I love it so much is because in every single episode, no matter how much they badmouth each other, how much they fight, how many times they fight, they're always there for one another. Always. And that's the one thing I have with Katie, Jade, Sarah, Graham, and Simon. Is friends. And I'm just forever grateful. Forever grateful to have all of them by my side. Through my bad times, my good times, even now. Just forever grateful. And I just really hope that I have these friends for life. Because these friends taught me, no matter how many times you go through bad stuff, you always have people there when you come out of the tunnel. Some might not give you another chance. Some do. And sometimes you need to prove. Sometimes you need to prove just to get the friendship back on track. And I always wanted to do that. Even the friends who kind of said, look, you don't need to prove yourself to me, I still did. And still to this day, I will always be grateful for what everyone done for me, stuck by me, even how much it hurted them back then. They still stuck by me, and I'll always be grateful for that. So I just want to say thanks to each and every one of you. You really are. Yous are definitely the bright stars in my life. Yous really are. And if I can figure out how to buy a star for each one of you, I will. Just to show proof. So, thanks very much, guys. And I love you so much.